What's going on YouTube? Epic WoodworX here. It's a rainy day in May 2025, but the Canes playoff hockey tonight. Anyway, we got a cool project coming up. Garner Fire Department, Tarheel themed piece. Stay tuned. It's going to be pretty awesome. All right, so this is what we're working with this piece. It's going to be a Tarheel theme with the Tarheel foot, along with Battalion Chief Brad Mitchell, his hire and retire date, and Garner. And what this piece is going to show is there's going to be a dark stain of the outline, the Carolina blue in the foot itself, the darker blue in the heel itself, as well as these engraved portions will be in a lighter stain to make it pop with the engraving. The overall piece will be roughly 24, just shy of 24 3/4 tall by 12.5 inches wide. Here's a better look of it with the black and white outlines. I think it's going to be a pretty cool piece, and I'm super excited to get this knocked out and show you this finished product. All right, here's the first layer we'll send. We have to piece it out. The black line is just going to be an etch, just so I have placement for the other components. Red line is a cut line, and I'll send it. I had to turn it 90 degrees so that way it'll fit more comfortably in the laser. So I'm going to send it over now. All right, send it over. File, we'll find the actual image. There it is. I've already orangened, but we'll frame it out. This is where it's actually going to be fitted in. The autofocused. I'll have to run a couple times with the actual cutout because this is a thicker material, denser material, so it takes a little bit longer to cut.
What's going on, everybody? Want to take a moment to thank everybody for your support. Epic WoodworX 2025. We're super excited about it. We got a lot of new products coming out. We just launched our new website. Stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe. We can't wait for you to see all these cool projects we got coming out. Enjoy the rest of the video.
All right, we have the basic cutout with just a score line, just so I can line up all the components afterwards. I'll be able to now go back and paint this, the light Carolina blue on these areas, and then the other parts will be raised and color coordinated accordingly. All right, now we're going to transition these black lines into red lines, and that will allow it to be all cut now, so we can actually layer this piece. We're going to eliminate this Tarheel portion because that's going to be raised as well, so that doesn't need to be cut out. And so now all of this will be cut out accordingly, and that will go over top of the existing base layer. All right, we just finished up the next layer. Came out pretty good. I'll pull this and I'll layer it on the piece, and we'll go from there. All right, so here, once I take that next cut out, this will go on here like this, and we'll layer that. Obviously, we're just going to dry fit everything. I'm going to have to take it apart and set up the paint. These parts in here will be that Carolina blue, and then I'm actually going to do the raised portion for the heel and like a navy blue, and then the other components will all be raised. All right, so now I have the heel portion of it. It'll go in just like this. It'll be the dark navy, and then obviously the Garner logo, the name, and the hire and retire date will sit a little bit higher. This in here will be the baby blue, and this will be the navy, so it'll be like a raised portion there, and then we'll have a third layer for these components here. All right, so we're working on this. This is going to be on a solid piece of select premium pine. We already loaded it in the machine. Here's our image. Enter. Now I'm going to set my origin to be top edge. That way we don't run out of space. Picture. It'll engrave out and get cut out to add to the piece. All right, now we have the main name portion cut out. Gotta sand this over char. It's over char, I'll sand off. I did sand off and clear coated the Garner logo that's going to go in place. It came out pretty good. All right, now we're going to coat it with in-wax poly acrylic. I've sanded down the overchar. I just dust it with polyurethane. Might hit this one more time. Let that dry, and then I gotta go ahead and run the other pieces, the hired and retired date. All right, so now I'm gonna orient these two right here. I'm gonna send these over, and again, the green will be the engraved and the cut lines will be red. All right, Got the hired and retired portion done. Satisfying. A little bit of that smoke ambiance. See the charring, we'll sand some of that down and get it looking nice and crisp. All right, my shot table is a little bit of a mess, but we're gonna sit here and dry fit some of this. So essentially it's gonna go something similar to that, with a little bit of an outline, so that way this dark stain will kind of outline it. Then we'll put the main Garner Fire Rescue logo there. And then the hired retired, and I made these matching pieces just to bring it up to grade to the same level as the other pieces, so they have like a little subtle outline. And then obviously I forgot I have this guy, which will be the navy blue piece that I'm just going to raise it up a little bit, and it will fit in just like that. So that will be the finished piece once I add all the colors. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. All right, this piece I'm doing the Minwax dark walnut. I normally do the providential, but I'm going with the dark walnut because I really want it to pop with the lighter color stain and the Carolina blue color. These are the components that will get the stain. Doing my normal, well, I switched it up. It's actually not paper towels. It's going to be my normal, or like a shop rag that I used to use. Stain all this guy here. All right, hitting up with the polyacrylic. Kind of lock in the stain. I typically don't even let the stain get really, really dry so much. Just that way I can knock out some pieces. This polyurethane kind of locks it in. I'm not real worried about over penetration on the penetrating stain. And then sometimes I'll get these little bubbles, but they'll go away. This stuff is awesome. Give you a little closer look at this. Got a light sheen, but again, this will be the outside edge. These two will be the edge around the hired and retired date. Same thing around the Garner patch and the name. It's gonna be super sweet. All right, I decided that I want to go ahead and put a sheen on these badges just to make them really pop. So I'm going to go ahead, even though I have urethane, it will be fine. I'm going to go ahead and put a clear gloss spray paint over top of them. It'll act as like almost like a shiny lacquer. And give it just a touch of sheen. I'm gonna go ahead and dust the blue again. And I'm gonna let the baby blue kind of go the way it's going right now. I think I like it. Got the game on, working on this piece. I'll kind of show you where I'm at now. So we got the color on there. This is kind of what it's gonna look like. It's kind of a little difficult to do with one hand, but so you line that up. So there's your Carolina blue portion. And then I will add the other components to add the color. All right, so now I have all the other components. They're a little tacky, but I'll set them up so you can kind of see how this is gonna look. That's where it's got the dark outline Obviously this will get centered a little bit better once I go to tack everything down. Here comes the logo. Obviously it'll be centered. A little tough to do one-handed, but you can kind of see how it's going to go. Somewhere in that realm. Actually, we'll do the retired, hired edging, which will then get something similar to that. And this guy will go right here, and certainly last but not least, we can't leave that heel like that. So then we'll bring the dark navy heel piece, just kind of slide it up in there just like so. And that is what we got. Not too bad. I think it looks pretty cool. I think it's got some cool pop. It's classy, not overpowering. And again, once I get everything tacked up, you'll get to really see, but you can kind of see the 3D look. Not too shabby.